Good evening, guys. Allow me a few seconds to set up the screen. Hope you are able to hear my voice. Okay, we'll start the program. Thanks for attending the program. Let us start the program. Today we are going to see about distribution planning and strategy. Nowadays you have seen the leadership or power is getting shifted from manufacturers to distributors. Now you can see that e-commerce platforms are taking a major role. In fact, you can call them as a retailers who are playing a powerful role, and they are becoming the channel master, and they are dictating the terms what has should happen in the supply chain. So nowadays more importance is given to distribution. At the same time, the customer expectation is also changing, so the way in which network is mapped, also inventory is managed, is also getting changed in the current environment. So let us see some of the aspects of distribution planning and strategy. These things are part of our program. In fact, I am taking a few slides to show us a introduction in this type of live sessions. Of course, any of the participants, if you have any doubts, you can always type in the comments. Briefly about my introduction, this is my LinkedIn profile. You are welcome to connect or follow with me. I am MBA with a PG diploma in data analytics. I have nearly 2.5 decades experience in this large global corporations, and I have been handling each and every subdomain in the supply chain area, and I have a practical knowledge in each of these areas. Last 10 years of my official career, I was heading the supply chain as a general manager in these European multinational companies. Currently, I am CEO for Thoughtware Training Private Limited. Okay, as far as certification is concerned, these are from APIX or ASCM. Also from Demand Driven Institute, I have this certification. Uh, I am also a certified purchasing manager and project management professional. Coming to our organization, we are a 4 years old organization based in Bangalore. We provide both training and consulting, and we are also affiliate to Demand Driven Institute in India. We operate under trade name of Exxpert SEM. Coming to distribution planning and the strategy, in fact, distribution is a somewhat more of a strategic in nature. It should start from a strategic and then move towards operational when you are doing the planning. Okay, it should tailor to the product, the nature of the product being handled, customer requirement, and also available internal expertise and resources. A series of interrelated planning decisions must be made to ensure that the strategy can be executed at reasonable cost while supporting the supply chain demand. You can see in this picture, starting from strategic planning, what are activities involved, And coming to the tactical planning, what are the areas of focus? In strategic, we talk about capability requirement in terms of product attribute, flow requirements, roles to be fulfilled. Here we talk about in terms of a 3 to 5 years plan at a very macro level. Coming to the mid level, we are talking about network design and other related aspects. Here the discussion should be on inventory positioning, number of facilities, location of facility, and facility management. So here we are talking about supply chain network design on a medium term. This could be 2 to 5 years term. Coming to tactical, more of operational, we are talking about size of operations, interior layout. In fact, this is part of a warehouse design, how you are going to handle the products inside the distribution center and inside a particular warehouse, where you are going to place this product for easy access and also for displacing the item. Okay, coming next, there are various distribution possibilities are there, starting from low tech options. In fact, in India, we prefer due to availability of cheaper labor. You simply receive the item, so store it and load it and deliver. Of course, here we are talking about a distribution supply chain where manufacturing is not involved, and I am sure 80% of organization in India follow this manual route. Whereas if you have a complex high-tech product, simple way of distribution may not be possible. That's where cross-talking with high-tech option is preferred. This is where you are going to introduce some type of IT tool, so that there is a clear synchronization between item being received and item being dispatched, so that nothing is waiting. In fact, the vehicle should not wait, the item should not be stored inside the warehouse, so there should be a continuous flow. So you can see here at the receiving, freight is received, checked for accuracy, prepared for induction. Cartons travel through the facility on a conveyor system to reduce labor and speed transfer of goods. Possibly they use RFID or barcode identification and deliver cartons to the appropriate loading line. You are seeing here the incoming items is getting directly connected to the outgoing vehicles, but it is not easy to do manually. There should be a synchronization, and there should also be a close cooperation with the vendors supplying the parts. Finally, you can see the cartons are loaded in trailer. Load of mixed product is shipped to the retail outlet when full. Okay. Any of the participants, any questions, you can always type in the LinkedIn comments. I am watching it. I will be able to respond. Coming to the network design issue, it is somewhat medium term planning. Here we are going to see in terms of number and location of this distribution centers. You can see the cost on the y axis is influenced by the number of warehouses. Yeah, certain things are going up as you increase the number of warehouse, but some items are coming down, some elements are coming down. What are coming down? You can see the overall transportation cost is coming down when you increase the number of warehouses. Of course, the cost of lost sales or the back order is going to decrease as you increase the warehouse number of warehouses. You can see the warehouse cost generally increases as you increase the number of warehouses along with the inventory cost. If you combine all this cost, you will get a total cost display here. Accordingly, you can select the lowest point and arrive at a number of warehouses. Of course, this is not a simple task to plot this details in a simple graph. You need lot of inputs, and there are some specialized simulation softwares are available to this type of work. Okay, determining the number of facility needed for supply chain involves evaluation of cost trade off with the other functional areas. Effective location selection requires analysis of DC's intended function, sources, volume of supply, customer location, demand pattern, and related fulfillment cost. So the input required to make this type of analysis is huge. Okay, so data preparation analysis forms a major part in this process. Also, once you decide the location and the number of warehouses, then comes the choice of ownership. Okay, a decision of facility ownership, private facility or public or contract facility, should be based on organization's expertise or scope of task required, and financial resources relative to number and size of facility required. You can see in this graph, of course, these are all based on some research done in the field by various experts previously. Using a public warehouse at the initial time, it could be cheaper. As you increase the number of warehouses, it's going to increase in terms of public warehousing. Here you are going to hire from something which is available for rent or lease, and maybe several organizations share the facility. On the other hand, if you are using private warehousing, it is going to be initially higher than the public warehouse, but at certain points it's going to be a cheaper. So you need to determine a point at which these costs are equal. So this is one analysis required. Okay, so factors affecting distribution facility ownership can also be examined through this table. What are the characteristics we should see? It could be throughput volume, demand variability, market density, special physical control needs, security requirements, customer service requirement, multiple use requirement, and accordingly you have to see how whether you need your own warehouse or you can hire. Of course, when it is coming to customer service requirement, this is one primary area where we need to own our own warehouses. That could be reason you can see many of the e-commerce company, they own their own warehouses, and they employ their own people. And second possible reason could be, if throughput volume is huge, then it matters in terms of cost. Having a own private warehouse could be better. Of course, when you are depending on 3PL, it could be that they are having a much superior technology or control or IT tools. So in such cases, possibly you can employ. But if your operation is complex and you need to provide better service, then having your own warehouse is always better. Okay, any of the participant, any questions? You can always type in the LinkedIn comment. I can respond to it. Coming to the facility consideration regarding size, typically the more facilities in the distribution network, smaller they need to be. Now you are seeing we are moving towards q commerce, which is quick commerce, which means we are going to have micro warehouses in each of the pin code location. So the way in which we were handling earlier is completely changed in the coming years, because you need to deliver the items to your customer at the earliest possible time. Possibly you can expect in the coming years all the item, irrespective of grocery or electronic product or automobile, same day or next day delivery could be possible, which means that we may be going for more number of warehouses, more inventory, but lesser lead time. So the way the future is going to take is going to be totally different from what we have been planning earlier. Okay, due to change in market situation, customer expectation. Okay, demand forecast for the facility can be used to create a rough estimate of space requirement. Given the forecasted demand, each facility must be large enough. But now we are slightly moving away from that. We need more number of warehouses at each of the pin code, or possibly within the pin code. near to the customer, it could be in your neighborhood. So things are changing. Coming to one more important aspect on tactical thing could be layout within your distribution center. What items where you are going to keep, possibly we can classify them into fast moving, medium or slow moving, and keep place this item in a better way. Okay, possibly if you are in an urban center, the space could be a problem. Then we are supposed to use some vertical storage facility. Okay, so depending upon the item size, whether you need to have forklift or other material handling equipment, so accordingly the design has to be made. But on the inventory point of view, we have to see in terms of fast, medium, slow moving, and accordingly place the items possibly near to the receiving or the dispatch, or even in the warehouse you can place this item either at middle level or at the lower level for the fast moving item. Slow moving item and heavier item of course need not be given the same information. Of course there are various possible layouts are available, and you can use some of the software, especially we call this process as slotting is fixing a particular position for a SKU. Okay, slotting is defined as a placement of product in a facility for the purpose of optimizing material handling and space efficiency. So you can even assume this particular distribution center could also serve as a retail space, and they are also selling to the customer. Then the slotting becomes more important, not only in distribution type of environment. Here you are directly facing the customer, so the slotting is decided based on popularity, unit size, or cubic space required. Okay, so slotting is on a operational level. It may keep changing depending on priority, depending on popularity of the products. It has to be flexible enough. So here we are talking about various aspects like picking productivity, efficient replacement, work balancing, load building, picking accuracy, ergonomics, pre-consolidation. So these are the aspects which has to be taken care when we are discussing about distribution management. Of course, as I told, what we have seen is a brief overview about requirements in the distribution, which are becoming a very core aspect in any supply chain management. Anyone asks any question, you can always comment in the LinkedIn. I will be able to respond. Do you like the program? Any of the participants, any questions? We do many programs on supply chain, logistic, procurement related area, and of course, in the supply chain, distribution forms a very important part of supply chain management, and as a career option, it is also growing. We provide training for various global certification program. One of our popular program is supply chain analytics, where participants across the world are participating in such of a program. You can always reach out to me or to our executives. You can see their numbers on the screen. You are always welcome to reach to them, or you can also visit our site where you can see the details of various programs. Also you can see the customer earlier participants review. Any questions? Do any one of you follow cross docking in your organization? You can always type the comments in LinkedIn. Since it's a live program, I can be able to respond to your queries. Thanks for participating. Have a nice evening. Bye. See you.